Oh, just getting ready for the 2017 season. My name is Greg. You're watching How to Play Paintball. Alright, so yeah, that's ridiculous. What we're going to be talking about today is actually about the new chin strap rule. As you can probably guess, I don't like it. I think it's a really, really pointless rule. Like I had said before with chin straps and all that, the whole thing with Trevor Reeser on Infamous, it's the wall. I don't understand why the NXL feels that they need to implement this chin strap rule when that isn't the issue. Like I said, I've been playing for I don't know how long, and I've never had my mask come off. The first time that it's happened in the past, I want to say it's like 15 years of me playing, was 2 weeks ago, I think, where it sort of came off, and that's just because I didn't tighten it down enough. That's really the only time in 15 years that the mask has almost come off. I mean, come on, I just don't understand this new rule that they have with the chin strap rule. It's going to cause issues in the pit. You already have enough that you have to worry about having to clip on chin strap. I know it seems like, come on, Greg, that's kind of ridiculous. It doesn't take long to clip that in. But yeah, it can be when you have to run back into the pit, get all your pods in, fill up your gun with air and paint, and then run back out onto the field. You're trying to get water in between that. And then if you're on the far side of the field, like if that's the point that you have to run to the far side, like that's a lot of time. And having to incorporate something else into that is just pointless. And I know that I was playing with somebody else that started using their chin strap to try to get used to it, and he has a bigger beard than I do. And he said that even with it completely pulled to the very bottom of the strap, so that way it would hang as low as it could, it's still because of his beard was pulling on it, which I think actually pulled the mask down a little bit. And you're going to run into the same issues. Like if the mask comes down, there still could technically be a chance that you're going to get shot here. I just don't understand their thinking with this, when the way that you could have solved this problem is go, take the W, cut it in half, and throw it out, because it's useless. I already don't like the bunker. And just bring back the A. The A was fine. If you really wanted to, you could fill in the bottom section, so it's an A, but it doesn't have that middle section cut out. You could just have it flat across the bottom, but having it at the angle like that, when you try to run up and you're trying to come around, you're going to see the other guy before you get there. And I'm sure some of you are already thinking, well, Greg, they started putting the little cakes on either side. Okay, but now that's 2 less bunkers that they can use. It might seem kind of pointless, but that's still 2 less bunkers that they can use elsewhere on the field to change up the dynamics of however that field is played. I mean, technically you could put 2 Aztecs or something like that, but still, it's the issue was the W. It's not incorporating chin straps. I've only seen a couple times people's masks come off, and it's not because they collided with anybody. It's just because they dove in kind of weird, and they didn't tighten their strap down probably, or maybe it was like the silicone was kind of messed up. But still, even with the chin strap, if that silicone is messed up and it slips up like that, your mask is still going to come off like that. So it's not even like the chin strap is keeping it attached to your face. I just don't think that this is the path that the NXL should have taken, making this mandatory as well. Honestly, I don't know where my strap is. I'm hoping that at the GI booth that they have for the events, a replacement. But I don't know, like that's just an extra fee or extra cost now that players have to go and buy another strap. Because it isn't something that you really think about. Most of the time, like I've said, in the past 15 years of playing, I can think of one time, and it wasn't 2 weeks ago, it was more like 4 weeks ago, that I dove in kind of weird and I felt my mask kind of go up. I've also had this mask for a while, so the strap is kind of stretched out a little bit, but even with that, I haven't had an issue with it. I've been using this mask for, I think, like 2 years now, and never had the issue. Never had a problem with it. Until a couple weeks ago, and even then I've played since then, and it didn't come off. And I was diving around. I played Snake side. I think I played Did I play Dorito's side? Actually, I don't. No, I did, and no problems. So I just had to tighten it a little bit more, and good to go. They sell new straps. I mean, Exalt has straps that you can buy. You can buy the original ones if you really wanted to, and go to GI and go and buy a new strap. But to get the chin strap and all that, it's really really pointless. And I'm already not liking the things that NXL is doing this season because they have already implemented this rule, but also the icing on the cake. And this is, I know I should probably make this into two separate videos, but I'm just going to say it now. The NXL Vegas event. I don't know what they're thinking with this. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that they're going to have an event St. Patrick's Day weekend again. Like I told you guys, I'm a middle school teacher now. Our spring break is the next week after that, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. But that's also like the spring break time. So now in Las Vegas, you're gonna have people for March Madness. You're gonna have people for St. Patrick's Day and also for spring break. So usually when you fly out to Vegas, the flights are gonna be like $100 something, if that. I think some of the cheapest that I've seen are like $500 something. I was talking to a team manager for a pro team, and he was saying that pretty much, I think just flights in general are almost for like, it's basically like paying for two events. You know, just the cost in general, I think, of going to Vegas. And it's ridiculous, and I don't understand why they can't just flip it. You know, just have Texas be the first event and then have Vegas later on, so that way more people can get there. I know teams that aren't going to be playing Vegas because it's expensive, so the NXL is losing out on money because of that. So I'm really hoping that, as sad as it sounds, that there's less people in Vegas, so that way they can change this around for next season. The rest of the season is going to be great. I know that. They already have good venues. You know, again, with, what was it, Texas, Atlantic City, of course, World Cup, and I want to say Chicago, but they have good venues. That's Vegas isn't a bad venue. I've played in tournaments in Vegas before. It's not a bad place to have tournaments. It's just the timing. Like, I just don't get it. It's kind of like when people kept going and they had the Mardi Gras event for some of you older players. It always rained, but they kept going back for whatever reason. I don't know why. And it was just a mud fest. And it wasn't something that, it's not good for paintball in general. Like, nobody's going to be going out and sitting in the rain to watch an event. Somebody that isn't involved in paintball, like, what purpose do they have of that? That's why the World Cup stuff is great, because you can get a lot of people, because it's right next to Disney. It's right next to the Gaylord Palms. It's in Orlando, essentially, and you're going to have a lot of traffic going there, so it's great for the sport. It's great advertising. The weather is usually awesome now, because they've pushed it back a little bit further. So all of that is great. I just don't understand why they are having another Las Vegas Open. And I've talked to a couple people, and they've all said the same thing. Somebody had asked me about my opinion, and I already had this down that I wanted to talk about it in my kind of running list. So it's really silly, ultimately, is what it comes down to. I'm hoping that the NXL realizes that, and that they kind of abolish that chin strap rule. I don't want to see players' masks come off. Of course I don't. I want people to be playing, have fun in a safe environment, but the chin strap is not going to make a difference. It's not something that is going to help the player with that kind of a thing. Getting rid of the W will. I mean, honestly, like, the craziest collisions I've seen, there was one from the snake that I can think of. And even with that, I think they were still running full force at each other, but, like, most of the time you're going to be coming up real quick, and you're just going with that first force. Like, it's not going to be a heavy collision or anything like that. Like, the issues is because you're running full force from the box, running and gunning, and you're just coming straight around. Because a lot of the times now, a lot of people are going up to the W because it's so big of a bunker that it blocks out a lot of shots, so you can go straight up there and then just come straight around. Or if there's a bunker that's close enough, you'll be able to go up over to their side of the field, maybe shoot two guys before you get shot as well. Just go back to the A. Just go back to that. You can still, use the NXL. It would make more sense, I guess, with more of like an X-type shape. Or just go to having, 4 big cans that you can have in kind of like a plus pattern, but that way, like, you still have cross shots. You're not blocking off a whole shot on the side of the field like the W does now. It's just that there's a lot of issues. You can tell a lot of issues that I have with the W. I'm still gonna play it because it's paintball still, but that is the issue, not Chinstraps. So ultimately, I don't know what would change the NXL. People are still going to play it. It's the main league. But I don't know if there's some sort of a petition or something, or if you can email in. To be honest, I'm really not sure. But I think it is something that was an unnecessary rule implementation that I think a lot of people have issues with. I don't think it's just me. I think it's a couple other people. Well, I think it's a lot of other people as well. As to what it is that this rule is really helping with. When, again, all they have to do is get rid of the W, bring back the A, or do something different with the center bunkers, because it would be better to have those cross-field shots, so that way it makes it more interesting. It's going to speed the game up, because if you can get shot from both sides, now you have to figure that out as well. Instead of having this huge W in the middle of the field that blocks out a lot of different things. They don't call it the wall for nothing. Where I can just sit there and just shoot a gap or whatever and not really have to worry about the other side of the field until they get up further up the field. I just think it's pointless. Bring back the car wash for older players. Basically, well, the WCPPL, I think, is bringing it back, where it's basically like a semicircle, like a half moon, and then it's flat. So it's still, I think it's just short enough that you can still see over it, but it's just big enough that if you crouch a little bit, like, you're still hidden. But there's like, even with that was with the old NPPL. I can't think of times that I had seen people collide at that. The W is the issue. But ultimately, that's what I think about the chin strap rule. I know I kind of went off on a tangent with some other stuff. I'm hoping, like, I don't want the NXL to dismantle, and I don't think it's on the point of that or anything like that. I just think that they're making some decisions right now that are not good, and they need to change that around. Again, sorry for this rant, but I wanted to make a video about that. Somebody had asked me, actually, my opinion, like I'd mentioned before. But tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell me why or why not. We can agree to disagree on certain things, but I think that there's a lot that is wrong with this chin strap rule. And they're trying to put a Band-Aid over, like, something that isn't an issue when you have a gaping wound on the other side of your body. So, but tell me what you think in the comments. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, remember, watch, learn,